I had too much pride to take advice from you because I had too much confidence in my own ability.
What up, y'all?
Josh and EC here once again
with another quality video. So we're back with another Eat and Chill. We told you guys we were going to keep these coming, and we had an idea spark yesterday. Me in particular, I went on Instagram Live with my girl Jujubee, and we partnered with Suave. And one of the topics we talked about was like black love, and then we had a Q&A at the end, and somebody had asked how to know you're in a toxic relationship or how to like get out of one, etc., etc. And it made me go on this rant that I was talking to Josh about. Like, I ended up telling people on the live that there was a lot of toxic traits, or not a lot, but there were some toxic traits that I personally had to work on to make this relationship work. And yeah, me and Josh just started talking about it and like, oh, that would kind of be a decent Eat and Chill video to do, because you know we're all about trying to help you guys grow and flourish in life. So if that means not necessarily learning from our mistakes, but maybe learning from our experiences and how we got through it, it'll be helpful. So that is what we're gonna be talking to y'all about today.
We also have some really good food.
Well, actually, something different
we
today.
Don't really know if it's good food or not.
Yeah.
This is our first time trying it, but we went to Jamba Juice. We really like their smoothies.
Their smoothies are so good.
So
they're like energizers.
Yeah, they're pretty
right?
energizing. So shouts out to Jamba Juice on that. But we tried their breakfast sandwiches, so we're gonna be munching on those while we're eating too. Let's kind of take a look at it.
Does ours look different? I got bacon.
I got
it has bacon, eggs, spinach. I'll show y'all close up. Oh, I'm about to lose my sandwich. You guys can kind of see it. Not too well. But I got bacon, eggs, spinach, cheese on mine, I believe, and red bell peppers.
I'm pretty sure I got some of them the same, except I got turkey sausage.
Yeah, turkey sausage. And Peach Perfection is my smoothie.
Oh, and then I got peanut butter mood, because...
Isn't that like a Reese's cup, you said?
Yeah, it tastes sort of like a Reese's cup, which I'm a big fan of. Wait, hold on. A hit.
Is it good?
It's a hit.
Comment below if, where you guys are at. Do you guys have Jamba Juice? Because we are just saying it like it's like a big name, and I don't know if it's everywhere.
It's a smoothie place around here. I don't know if it's everywhere, but it's a pretty good smoothie place for us, and they serve healthy smoothies. So, but if you're new to Quality Crew, there's a button at the bottom of this video that looks just like this. Go ahead and hit that button. It costs you nothing, but it helps us get this quality message out to the rest of the world. Then after you're done with that, go ahead and hit the subscribe button, because if you watch any of our videos, we already know you feeling the vibe. We happy, healthy, hydrated on all three. Okay, what I'm saying? And then after that, go ahead and hit that bell notification button, because that notifies you every time we post, and we post very often. But other than that, let's go ahead and pray and get into this video.
Okay.
Lord, bless this food they're about to receive from there for our bodies. Help it to soothe our souls. Help it to help our minds grow so that we can portray a better message to these followers. Bless the people watching this. Help them to grow in their individual relationships. Help those who aren't in relationships to just love themselves more properly. These and other blessings we ask in your name. Amen.
Amen. Alright, so do you want to kick us off?
Yeah.
What were your toxic traits?
So when we first started out,
you can take a bite of your sandwich too.
Okay.
You know.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Because I ain't gonna get it. Smackable. Mine's good. Yours tastes like pizza.
Mine does. Does yours not? Alright. Okay. Let's hop into this.
In the beginning of this relationship, I would say I had a couple toxic traits. For one, not protecting you. People could see it as a toxic trait, or people could just see it as a lack thereof of confidence and like confrontation. Either way, whatever.
Emotional protection is what
emotional
he's
protection.
About, by the way.
I lacked in that department, and as the man in the relationship, you can't really be lacking in that department if you want your woman to feel secure. And like we had a bunch of issues on that tip, where it was like I would see like we had a group of friends together, and that's where it got real difficult for me, because I didn't understand, like, one, I wasn't in a relationship before, so I didn't understand how that dynamic worked. But two, it was like whenever there was a confrontation between her and one of my boys, I'm Switzerland, and then y'all would kind of duke it out. But when you jump from friend to boyfriend, there's a line of protection that needs to take place in there.
Yeah.
There's a solid line of protection. I mean, granted, a lot of stuff happened when we were new and fresh, but at the same note, if I was in the mind frame that I'm in now, I would have been more protective in those situations. And it could have caused the end of our relationship, because we actually had a couple of moments where it was like, are you looking out for me? Like, do you really have my back? Or is it like, is it just cool?
It's interesting you brought up that point, because I didn't think that you were going to name that as one, but I think I appreciate that you like see that, because
that was toxic.
It wasn't even like that I couldn't hold my own, or that I wanted him to get confrontational with his boys, that me and him, when we would have a disagreement or whatever. It was more so just like stepping in like, all right, like chill out, or that's enough. I was just looking for that from him. I didn't look for somebody to be like my bulldog and side exactly what I'm saying, but like, yeah, like he said, he was just Switzerland and just,
I would just stay
silent and stuff, and I'm kind of just like, I felt very alone. I felt very, like unprotected in that sense. So yeah, interesting.
Another big one. Tea Time Tuesdays, we make fun of the petty train, but I was like the engine leader of the petty train at the beginning of this relationship. Because like, instead of like voicing you that some things would like bug me, I would just reciprocate the energy.
Right.
And then like, I'd be like, you see how you feel? That's how I felt.
And that's not how to teach somebody.
That's not how you teach somebody. That's really not how you teach somebody. It was just extremely petty on my part. It was kind of like an immature thing. Well, you made me feel this type of way. I don't know how to express it to you verbally, which could have been a toxic trait too. My lack of emotional intelligence and how to display that could have been toxic to the relationship, because the only way I could express it was reciprocating that energy back at you. And like, oh, you're gonna ignore me? Cool. I'm gonna ignore you too. And then we'll see who breaks first.
Right.
Like,
that is very toxic.
Yeah, that's like
we
extremely
did
toxic.
do that.
Yeah,
we both did that. Something that I was telling them, because they were asking me the other day how I knew or know that you're the one for me, and what made me stay through our ups and downs and stuff. I feel like when it came down to like me really having an issue or whatever, you were always have been, and still are open and willing to understand where I'm coming from and try to fix it. So like for our bickering things, yeah, you took the petty route. But for like serious stuff, you were very much so listening to understand, which I've always appreciated.
I think it always sort of came with like the kind of approach you came with. Like if it was something serious, you normally did good about not like lashing at me about it. You came to me with more of like a heartfelt, like, this is how I feel. Like, I can't change that. You know my heart's huge, so like I can't be like, oh well, let me take the petty route and tell it about itself and like do the same thing. Nah, like I was gonna try and solve that problem, because I don't know, I guess it hit me in the heartstrings. Whereas like when we were in our bickering stage and you would hit me with some petty stuff like, oh, that's how you feel, and then walk away.
Yeah.
Like, all right, bet. Cool. If you're gonna play the petty route, whatever.
Dang, that just made me think of another toxic trait of mine. So something that you just saying how I would walk away or you would walk away, that's a toxic trait of mine. I'm still kind of trying to work on me walking away when I'm like kind of fed up or just like over the conversation or whatever. I tend to do that a little too much. He calls it running away, like running away from the situation.
Just did that on run.
Yeah, and I don't really I think it's just the pride, to be honest. I don't have a 1000% answer as to why I do that. It's something I have to work on. It's present day something I still have to work on, but past tense stuff, but I didn't used to apologize at all for nothing, even when I knew I was wrong. And it took like a couple conversations of Josh just kind of being like, for once, he was kind of the one threatening, like, if you don't get this together, I can't be in this. Usually that's my line. Like, if you can't do this or you don't do that, I can't. So, yeah, I had to start learning to apologize when I was wrong. And that was a pride thing, too. That was something that I talked about with Beauty Gang on my Instagram story. Because I was asking, this majority ladies who follow me, so I was like, how many of y'all let y'all pride get in the way? Because I feel like a lot of times people feel like men are the ones with pride issues and stuff, but us women have pride issues too. Y'all will go to the grave before y'all freely admit that y'all was wrong. That's crazy as hell. We will. Like, y'all talk about our pride, but like our pride is in different areas. Our pride is in like sports and like dominating man stuff. Like, okay, we want to be the macho man, but y'all just have to be right. If a guy really truly cares about you, they lay their pride down. You have done that so much in this relationship, and I have not. I still, present day, I'm working on, like, if we kind of like get into it or whatever, you're really good with still saying I love you, and I don't know how I don't know how you can consciously still tap into that, because I think I'm just so used to being petty and technically immature and prideful. Like, it's hard for me to say I love you when we just had a disagreement, but you say it so naturally. But still, I don't want them to get the wrong picture though, and like make them feel like you don't love me. Oh no, of course I do. I feel like this is real. This is reality. I know it's reality. If you're being realistic with yourself, like, yeah, it takes like
The loading phase for an I love you after an argument, post-argument, for me would be like maybe 30 seconds.
Yeah, it's really quick.
It's like...
Yeah, it takes a while.
10, 15 minutes.
Because I know in my heart I do, but like it's something like I don't want you, I want you to have the satisfaction that I do.
You don't want to give up the tension that's there
it's
yet.
bad.
It's like you want me to like wallow in that tension for a little bit longer. Whereas with me, like, I just wanted to get my point across, and then we can I love you, kiss it out, and like, we'll be done.
Guys are always kind of better at getting over things. Y'all can get into it on the football field, and then y'all eating dinner together an hour later. Girls, when we get into it, it's like, stay away from me. I don't want to see your face for a while. Like, it's that holding a grudge type thing.
I don't think guys do that a lot, just because, like, all guys want to do is just get it out there. It's like, I'm just tired of holding on to it, so I'm just get it out there. We can duke it out. We can fight it out, whatever. I just wanted to get it out there so that way it's off my mind. And so like after that, like I'm not really gonna trip hard on it. That's just too much energy.
You can let it go. You let it go. Yeah, I'm not like that.
Too much energy going in all the wrong places. So like if I start an argument, it's because I wanted to get something off my chest, and then it's kind of back and forth. When she starts an argument, it's something that's bothered her for a minute, and she's gonna let me feel it for a minute, like because she wants me to feel it as long as she's felt it. Whereas I just felt it one day and was like, let me just say something.
Interesting.
Really
Learning to apologize wholeheartedly, not just in a I'm sorry just because I know that's what he wants me to hear. That's something that I feel like is very important to me, at least in terms of like getting it from him. You can tell when somebody's genuinely sorry and when somebody's saying sorry for convenience. Yeah. And I feel like that was something I've had to work on, not just saying sorry for convenience so that you would get over it. I needed to really be apologize.
You had your levels.
I know.
Because you've gone from not saying it at all.
At all.
At all. And I was like, gee, I never knew it bothered me that much until it started happening on a regular basis, where I was like, I was wrong, but she was wrong too. And I had to like talk that over with people. I was like, is it just me, or is it like, is it her? I didn't realize that sorry was like an admittance of wrongness. So every time I was like, am I just the only one that's wrong? And I felt crazy after a while. Then I started realizing, I'm not crazy. It's just, you just don't.
I wasn't good at it.
Yeah, you're just not good at it.
I got it from my mom. Sorry, Mom.
And then the first couple apologies were like, I'm sorry.
Yes, yeah. I do remember. I used to, no, he's not joking.
It would literally
I used to literally be like, I'm sorry. Like it would hurt. It'll hurt. Like genuinely hurt for me to say sorry. And it felt like I was losing something.
Yeah, man.
It was so bad.
And it was crazy because it took me like almost to my wit's end to be like, I was biting the lanyard talking about like.
Is that when we finally had? That was a sorry thing?
That was when I finally snapped, yeah.
Really?
I was like, you need to start taking accountability for your wrong. I can't be in this feeling like I'm crazy. I was so heated, y'all. Yeah, he was. I really don't get mad off him, but that was like a build up. I was like, yo, I'm hot right now. That was my last straw. But you've gotten better.
I thought why weren't you gonna put the way in front of it? Way better.
I don't know about way better, but you've gotten better. Because it's now more heartfelt. Like I can actually see in your eyes that like you actually mean the sorry. And
I'm quicker about it, I feel like.
You're definitely quicker. Because there were so many phases. There was nothing. Yeah. Then there was delayed something.
For some hours.
Yeah, delayed something. And then there was like something, but it was like decent, but it was more delayed than the first delay.
Oh my gosh. They're not even going to be able to follow what you're saying anymore.
All I'm saying is there was phases of sorry that I had to get through. And there was phases of pride that I had to get through with her. Once I got through all that, I mean, in the center of it all, you're a sweet little chocolate queen.
Thank you.
Okay. There was a whole lot of fortresses built up around that. I had to duck and dodge the gators at the boat. I had to get through the guards, you know what I'm saying? I had to uppercut security at the door.
Oh my goodness.
I had to do a lot of things. But we got past it.
Sorry was my main thing. Do you have another one?
Another toxic trait? I know I kind of touched on lack of emotional intelligence. I just think I was really bad in the department. And I think if you're gonna get into a relationship, you need to have at least somewhat of an emotional IQ.
You know what though? I feel like it's not necessarily a toxic thing because you never were really taught it. Well, yeah, your lack of emotional intelligence wasn't good, but it also wasn't intentional. You know what I mean? Like when I wasn't apologizing, it was kind of like an intentional thing. It was a petty thing. Your lack of emotional intelligence, I wouldn't want to staple that as toxic, because I feel like a lot of people lack it. It's not a toxic thing, but it's something that you should work towards being better at. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Now, if we kept having the conversation about that being an issue and you refuse to fix it, then to me that's toxic, because at that point now you're consciously aware that you're not trying to become more emotionally intelligent. Thank you. I ate the hell out of that sandwich.
Really did. I think another toxic trait I had was when we first started YouTube. I was honestly a very toxic person when it came to YouTube.
As a business partner.
As a business partner,
Yeah.
I was extremely toxic, which is why Josh and Isi kind of tanked for a couple months.
Some years, technically.
Years, actually. Like, we were good for like a couple months, then it would tank, and then we would be good, and then it would tank. And it was all because of, I guess, a piece of my pride, a piece of my, like, I felt like I was losing my personal identity in the sauce of things. I would be, like, anti-filming. I'd be, like, anti-editing. I'd just be kind of like, nah, I'm not feeling it today.
Put it all on me.
I really would put it all on her. Now, granted, like, when I had my good streaks, that's when we had, like, all the challenges and stuff. And then, like, all of a sudden it would just fall off. But I would just be like, no, I'm not feeling it. And I think I was kind of going between like football.
I was gonna say football, yeah, you kept saying.
And YouTube, and I was like, yo, man, I've been dedicating it was kind of hard to come to grips with the fact that like I dedicated my life to sports. And then like here comes YouTube, and it's like, okay, it's a good opportunity, not necessarily guaranteed, but it's a good opportunity, and we're showing good growth. So it had a lot of potential to it. And then I was like, but I have a lot of potential in football, and that's what made me get that far. I was like All-American, like all the cards was lined up. It took getting injured enough times to realize that like
It wasn't for you.
Yeah, I'm risking my health for something, whereas the other one wasn't risking anything. It was actually promoting a healthy relationship at the same time as like promoting like my just overall life health. I don't know. It's only as of recent that I've come to terms with that.
Yeah. Well, you said for the longest that you were battling with like feeling like you didn't have your own individuality, or like you were the weak link of a trifecta or whatever, like all of that.
I just started having to embrace my personality on this platform until further notice. This highlights a good point. Social media does not determine you. And I think for a long time I thought, well, if I'm going to make a career out of social media, then I need to have a personal identity on social media as well. Otherwise, I feel like I'm just like a tag along. You know what I'm saying? If you guys kind of noticed, like back in November, we started going super hard.
It's just carried on.
You know, it hasn't looked back since, and I think we're still going to keep going on this train, so we're not going to stop. But I don't know. I guess around that time, I mean, yeah, it was YouTube Black, and I kind of had that epiphany. But like, it started.
I think it was a pride thing.
I think it was honestly a pride thing or an ego thing that like really hindered me from like wanting to do a couples channel. And I was like, I could do something individually and be good at it. So like, and I seen you do something individually, and I was like, I could probably say I was jealous. Like you were doing something individually and being successful at it, and then we were doing our thing, and it just felt like I was like left out. Like, am I like not living up to my potential, or is something wrong? And then like I would deviate my attention from the couples channel to my personal.
Your own selfish. And nothing's wrong with being selfish.
Nothing's wrong with that, but you were leaning on me to make the couples channel work, and I was
for
like,
us.
yes, for us. And I was like, man, forget that. I'm trying to do what I need to do for me.
So how did you shift out of that toxic mentality then?
I will say around YouTube Black, I did meet a couple people that kind of changed my perspective on things. Like, I met some other couples, like they were cool with being couples. And I was like, oh, okay, like I guess I could see the perspective of like, you don't necessarily need an individual identity to start out. Like that kind of just grows with the couples channel and kind of stuff like that in its own sense. But like, I felt like we had hella good times doing YouTube videos together. And it's something that we can show our kids. It's something that we can do in the future that's like really cool. So I was like, I gotta put my pride aside at this point. I could see it being toxic. And I could see, I don't know, the sparkle in your eye when you looked at me, it's kind of fading.
Really?
I felt like I almost rubbed you as unambitious at that point. And like, I could see in your face that you were like, yo, I'm trying to grow. Like, you wanted something more. And you knew that I wanted something more, but I wasn't going about it the right way. Or maybe I could have been going around, but like it wasn't the way that was conducive for this relationship to work. After I started seeing, like, because you would still sort of hint at it and be like, you know, we still got the couples channel. You want to film? If not, whatever.
Yeah,
and I
was over it.
Yeah, you were over it. And it kind of like, it saddened me to see you like that towards the couple channel. Even when you start bringing it back up, your like motivation towards it was like, another cycle of this, like another 3-month streak, and then we're off again, like kind of thing.
Because my brand always takes a hit whenever we did that.
Yeah.
Because I put so much energy into trying to make Josh and Issy brand grow or flourish or whatever. African Beauty would always take a hit, but then if we didn't stick with it, I'm just like, well.
Took a hit for nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You never told me the whole spark in the eye thing, though.
I could see, like, you were disappointed in me, heavily. You were heavily disappointed in me.
I never said anything.
You never did. And I mean, I kind of appreciate you for that. Although, like, your real talks are usually motivational in terms of, like, back when you motivated me to go get my job, like, just put my pride down and go serve. And then that turned out great. Turned into a manager real quick. Sometimes those difficult conversations are necessary, but I do appreciate you for, like, not trying to hold that over my head like a boss. You're kind of like, it's your decision. And I think it works out better that way.
Because we didn't have to do this.
We didn't have to do it. Because our relationship was good without it. We could have easily just like worked it out, had it worked at Pablo, maybe later down the line, started social media, whatever. Right. We could have done that. But I like where this is going.
Yeah, I love each other. I was gonna say another toxic trait of mine. I think I would say I definitely got better at, but the whole petty boots thing. I can be Miss Petty Boots, like on a very toxic level. Like, he can ask me what's wrong 3 or 4 times and I'll say, I'm fine, it's nothing, it's okay. Like, and I feel like a lot of us women tend to do that, and we gotta stop, because so many people ask me all the time, like, how are we good with communicating with each other? How did we get to this point? How do you express yourself to your partner? Stuff like that. Literally telling them what's wrong is a huge step, instead of saying I'm fine or it's nothing. Because, oh, you know what another toxic trait of mine kind of was that ties into petty boots? Me expecting you to read my mind. I remember I used to do that a lot, especially when we first kind of started. Like, if you would hurt my feelings or you would do something wrong to me, I feel like you did something wrong to me, I would expect you to know that you did something wrong and be expecting an apology. But I wouldn't get it, and I'm just like,
and then I would see an attitude and just
not know what. Yeah, he would know what the issue was. So
I just thought she would needed space, and that was.
And I didn't want space. Yeah, I never wanted space.
And I was like, all right, cool, I'm gonna kick it with my boy. She's mad.
No, I hated that so much. It wasn't an intentional petty, but yeah, me expecting you to read my mind and know what's wrong instead of me having to like explain it. Yeah, that was toxic.
And that's why I thought you was low key crazy at some point. Because you be wanting that. Like, we even discussed that you wanted that, and then like when there was situations and I was like, what's wrong? Like, I'm good. You're not.
Yeah, I would say I'm good. It's nothing. I'm fine. You gotta learn to literally. I know it's so hard.
And I think
it's hard. You gotta fight past it.
Purely because at those points, the other party, like when one of us chose to pull, and I think that's the only thing that saved us. Because normally, like in relationships, if one person's pushing, the other person's gotta pull. If you both push, it's over with.
Right. And
you're both looking for outs.
Yep.
Like,
that is true.
In those moments when you were like, I'm good, I could have easily been like, cool.
Alright, I'm good too. Yeah.
I'm good if you're good. Cool. And it would have just snowballed and then blown up in our face.
Yep.
I had to keep prying. Part of me like knew what was wrong, but I just wanted to hear you say it. Because I was like, you need to get it off your chest. Otherwise, I'm going to hear about it 2 days later, and I'm going to be like, man, we don't even remember the facts. Like, the facts just happened. We can discuss it right now, facts present.
Yeah.
But if you, like, put it off in the day, and be like, well, you said, no, I didn't say that, then it just turns into, like, a he say, she say battle. I'm like, nah, I'm not with that. But I really feel like you were good at communicating when I broke down, like, 2 walls.
Yeah.
The pride wall and the sorry wall. Like, you're great at communicating after that.
Yeah. I don't know, but I do feel like this video is a good example, too, that you can have a healthy relationship with toxic traits. Because I feel like even through everything that we're disclosing right now, we never had a toxic relationship. But because human beings aren't perfect, there's no such thing as that, we did have things that we had to work on to make this relationship work the way it does. And in those cases, they were toxic traits. Those were toxic traits to the relationship. It wasn't gonna help better us in any way, shape, or form.
I think overall we had great moments. We had toxic moments.
Yeah, toxic moments.
But we never, like, I would never say that our relationship was toxic.
No, I've been in a toxic relationship.
Yeah, because I mean, at the end of the day, regardless of what went down and like how we felt, we were both still committed to making this work. And I think that's the big thing. Like,
and the respect has always been there through all the petty moments.
Even through the petty moments, yeah. Like, we've never gone as far as like, neither one of us has the trait of calling each other out each other's names. Never crossing like, never cursing at each other like that.
We don't yell at each other.
Like, yeah,
even when we get a tone with each other, we're always like, watch that.
Yeah,
both
like,
of us are like, you tone it down a little bit.
Yeah, like an 8, bring it down to like a 6.
Yeah, we're very
we're pretty
healthy
chill
in
about
that department.
Yeah, the arguments department, I don't think we've ever had like a problem. We've never gone into like screaming matches or anything like that.
I don't feel like either one of us are like that though.
No,
I'm not those type of people.
I'm not the type to like blow up and scream.
Me neither.
You gonna have to do some
crazy stuff, man.
Yeah. You gotta do some wicked stuff for me to get to that point. Because I'm chill by nature. Oh.
What?
Laziness.
Oh. I mean, don't we both have that though?
I think I can take the cake.
What are you talking about? What's the example?
I can take the cake. That first year of me fresh out of homelessness, chilling.
Oh, and I had to have a talk with you.
Multiple talks.
I told them about that because that was something I was telling the ladies on Instagram Live the other day. In terms of like knowing when to leave the relationship or something like that. I was giving them advice and I was like, if you don't just threaten a man, mean the threat that you're saying. Because a lot of women will say like, oh, if you do this again, I'm gonna leave. If this happens again, I'm gonna leave. And then it happens again and they're still there. I was like, when I would have my talks with Josh, you have to be confident enough to say something like that and mean it if it does happen again or whatever.
Yeah.
And I was like, I would have to have conversations with Josh where, if something didn't switch or something didn't change, I was comfortable and confident enough to be like, I can leave this relationship then. But a lot of people just do like empty threats. My threats with serious confidence, when I be like dead serious, when I don't have no tears, I'm not crying, I'm just straight up talking to you, that means I'm very serious. And I'm not joking. So, you gotta just learn how to stand your ground and be a woman of your word when it comes to that type of stuff. Maintain your expectations and standards of people. Otherwise, the more they keep falling under it, the more you keep lowering them, you're gonna just stay in the same toxic cycle.
You teach people how to treat you in that department. So, like, you definitely taught me a couple lessons there. And there was a couple times she had to look me in the eyes and was like, you got a year.
Like, if this time next year,
if you don't show me something, if you don't show me any kind of ambition or something like that, then we're probably gonna have to go our separate ways.
Absolutely.
Because
you're gonna hold me down.
Yeah, at that point, I would have either became an anchor or we would have just obviously gone separate ways.
Right.
Like, we're just not doing the same thing. And I really thought I got pulled out of that rut.
and I was like, when those things were happening, I'd be like, maybe I'm not the girl for you, and I meant that. And vice versa, maybe you're not the guy for me, because I was mentioning to them too, so many people, I feel like, I won't say they fail, but if you and your partner's mentalities and morals and just your vision, what you want out of life, aren't aligned, as we've seen multiple times, there's a lot of BS to sort through.
Yeah, there's a lot of gray.
You know what I mean? So we were just on completely different pages around that time in terms of the lifestyle I knew that I was going to attain for myself. If you weren't operating at the... And then, that's how the conversation came up too, because somebody was asking, what do you do if you make more money than your man? And I said that to me personally doesn't matter if I'm making more money. I just need to see ambition. I need to see a grind in you. You need to be bringing to the table something.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Show me that you're working to it. Like, I think a lot of times in a relationship you want goals because that's like, it's something to look forward to. It's something to keep you hungry. Something to like keep you motivated to do. Because otherwise you're just gonna be Netflixing and playing video games and just kind of like wasting life away.
Yeah.
It's like, it doesn't make sense. I mean, that could be you and that could be your lifestyle and you could love that junk. That's great. But
for us,
that's just not...
We have a way bigger picture for ourselves.
We've already discussed goals. We've discussed things that we want for our lives, for our kids' lives, and it takes a lot of hard work to do it. So for me to be in that phase was toxic. Like was
for our growth
very
as a
much
couple.
so toxic for our growth, because I think we discussed that prior, just basically like what we wanted out of life. We discussed that prior to me having that lazy year in your life. We talked about this.
But shit hit different when you graduate college.
It does. Like
in terms of moving into adulthood and stuff, because I feel like college and that cute stage is all, of course you're like, yeah, we're gonna get married and we're gonna have kids, but when you get into the adult world where you're paying bills now, and now it's not a matter of just imagining the life you want, it's like, okay, what are the steps that I need to take to really attain it? That hits different.
It's way different.
Yeah.
Like, life was hitting different. Life was hitting, it hit me different.
And I don't want to say that like you were a bum that year, but you were trying to go about things your way.
Very
Josh
schematic.
wanted to be an entrepreneur and thought that was going to happen off rip type stuff, but it wasn't.
You got to
crawl before you walk. Exactly.
Yeah.
So
that was definitely a toxic trait. Not gonna lie. Being lazy.
But I wouldn't call it wasn't lazy though. It was just stubborn. You're just stubborn.
Hard-headedness was also a toxic trait.
Yeah.
I had too much pride to take advice from you because I had too much confidence in my own ability.
Always been the 4.0 student. Always got things right and done.
Always had the answers. Like, was always right kind of thing. Like, real Aquarius mode. You know what I'm saying? Like, always thinking I'm the smartest person in the room. So to hear you tell me about like how to go about social media, I was like,
you didn't want to hear it.
I wasn't trying to hear it. I was like, well, why can't I figure out my own way? Like, you figured out your own way, why can't I figure out my own? And like, I don't know, maybe I was trying to reject all help to say, like, to just give myself that pride, like I did it
all by yourself.
Oh, I did it by myself.
And that's the difference, or not difference, but I had to have a couple talks with him kind of explaining like, we're a team. This ain't no individual thing. So if I'm trying to give advice to you on, because I've done the stuff already successfully, not to say that he had to go the exact route as me, but I had tips and tricks, and you know, the whole point of having a partner is to help you grow and elevate and stuff. So whenever he would reject any efforts I would try to make towards helping him grow, it was just like, we went through a stage, man.
We had a phase.
We did.
We had a phase. I had to get over it. I think we both had pride moments that we had to get over. We both had just moments that we had to get over. I would never say that either one of us was toxic, but we definitely had some toxic traits that we had to like address on a personal basis and kind of get over.
Everybody has toxic traits though, because nobody's perfect. So if you're like watching this right now and you think that you don't have any, you might have to have a couple self-talks with yourself.
That could be the toxic trait.
That could, ooh, that's true. That could be the toxic trait.
That honestly could be the thinking that you don't,
your shit don't stink.
You're the best.
Remember I said that? Yeah, in the beginning, I didn't think. I thought I was.
Honestly, that sentence scared me more than it motivated me.
What?
Because you used to say like, I'm always the best person in my relationship.
Yeah,
like,
but that was true.
You were.
With my previous exes. So like finding somebody who was on my level was different for me. Someone who could call me on stuff that I was wrong about and stuff. Because you know, when somebody's doing you wrong, they can't tell you nothing. Because it's really like, you know. But to find somebody who wasn't doing me wrong and then had something to say about stuff I was doing wrong, I was like, oh, yeah? I really thought that I was like the perfect girlfriend when we first started dating.
You said, those sentences really came out your mouth too. Like, I was the perfect girlfriend for these guys. Like, I was always the better person. Like, they treated me like garbage. All I did was treat them right. And I was like,
that's factual though.
But they're like, you don't know, because they probably weren't bold enough. They were probably on so much ain't-ish time that they didn't even care to help you educate yourself on stuff that you could have been working on. And so like, I got the bulk of that mixed in with the pride of you being the best person in 2 previous long-term relationships. So I'm like, how do I go about telling you these things? Because you're obviously not great at a couple of things. I wondered how they put up with you not being a sorry person.
Because I didn't have nothing to apologize for. I was a good girlfriend. I was an excellent girlfriend.
You had nothing to apologize for.
I didn't do anything. I don't have time to go back down memory lane, but I really don't think I had anything to apologize for any of it.
Well, you've had plenty to apologize for in this relationship.
Yeah, I know. But yeah, I feel like that's something that we can like talk on about for a long period of time. But that's the bulk of what we wanted to talk to you guys about. Y'all know we like to keep it very transparent over here.
Yeah.
And try to give you guys just a different insight, because we do overall have a very healthy relationship, good dynamic, good friendship with each other and stuff. And we always are getting questions about how we got to this point or how our relationship is the way it is. This is a part of it. Tackling those demons or toxic traits and stuff like that. Being open to talking about it with each other as well. Because obviously we've had this conversation off camera multiple times. So I guess my challenge to you guys, if you're open to, you don't have to comment below, but if you want to, you can comment below toxic traits that you currently have or that you've worked on. Or if you don't want to comment it at all, at least talk about it with your significant other and or a friend or something like that, because it helps to discuss those type of things. If you're somebody who wants to grow and elevate in life, I did say that I realized that in 2020, not everybody has that yearn for growth like we do. And I think that's something that we've had to shift our mentality to understand.
Now, we haven't done this. So a good exercise that I think that y'all could do is potentially, you know, each getting an individual piece of paper, kind of just making a list about what traits you think are negative about yourself, right? And then you can give it to your significant other, and they can maybe walk you through it, or like maybe walk you through how to avoid that toxic trait.
And vice versa. Yeah, y'all both make the list.
And y'all really need to be open to discussing each other's traits.
And listening to understand, not listening to be understood, or to, what is it called? Listening to respond.
Yes.
Not listening to respond.
This is where it gets the most difficult.
This is the nitty gritty.
This is the nitty gritty of a quality relationship.
Yeah.
If you can communicate on your opinions of that other person effectively, negative ones specifically, and not cause a fight, that
you're on the right path.
You're on the right path. If I can tell her about herself, you don't say sorry. I don't like that.
And that's not to say that an attitude might not be caught, because let's be real, everybody is human.
Everybody's human.
But y'all should be able to discuss these things. If it's a long-term relationship you plan on having, y'all should be able to discuss any and everything in your relationship.
Not saying that conversation will be perfect, but it shouldn't end in y'all screaming, cursing at each other, running away. Not. It shouldn't end in like y'all not talking to each other for the rest of the night. It shouldn't. And
I was gonna say too, sorry to cut you off, but no, if you're in a relationship with somebody, they love you. So if they're saying something that might hurt your feelings, know that it's coming from a place of love, not a place to hurt you. You know what I mean? That's something that I've had to kind of try to train my mind when you've told me about stuff like, all right, this man loves me with all his heart. So I know he's not saying this to hurt me. He's saying it to help me grow, or, you know, to improve me and stuff. And that's something to be very cautious of too. If you guys end up doing Josh's challenge or whatever, speak with love towards each other. I feel like a lot of people don't speak with love when they're upset or frustrated.
Yeah,
and that's when the cuss words and the yelling and stuff starts to happen. This is somebody that you love. You know what I mean? Like,
there's a difference between talking to somebody and talking at somebody. And I feel like whenever you have a problem, generally you talk at that person. You need to just talk to that person. And that's coming from a place of love. Start with a sandwich technique. Real good sandwich. Love what you're doing. Okay? You look poppin', you look fly. Takes you a little too long to get ready, but the result is excellent.
Did y'all see the sandwich? Y'all saw it?
Y'all saw the sandwich?
I hope y'all saw it.
I hope y'all saw the sandwich. Came in with a compliment. You look great. Got to the real beef of the problem.
You take too long.
You take too long. Okay.
Another sandwich layer.
But the outcome is bomb. So if we could just work on condensing that time. Just a little bit. We might have more days to do more great things, and you can look fly even more for longer.
Anyway, I was gonna say, we took a managing difficult conversations class together. I think that really had a lot to do with our relationship in college. We just so happened to take that together, and I think that has helped us a lot. So the things that we're like encouraging y'all to do, we literally studied in school, so it works.
It works, trust me. Trust me. It's so funny that like people always be looking for the secret sauce of relationships, and we've given it to you 1,000 different ways.
In 1,000 different ways.
Talking, communicating. The way that we go back and forth, that's very healthy. Because like we can hit each other with jokes, we can hit each other with laughter, we can hit each other with like real difficult conversations, good conversations.
You can do anything.
You can really do anything.
Honestly.
That's why in like the Army, the chain of communication is so strict. They just make sure that everything is, you get the picture. Like we get our picture. And y'all will understand your picture if you just get over the hump of like, oh, they're gonna be mad for a second, or like, oh, they could potentially have their feelings hurt. Like, if you want the relationship to grow.
I was gonna say too, one more thing that just reminded me of. If you have a significant other and the whole week, there's not one day throughout the whole week that y'all just turn off technology, whether it be your phones or the TV or whatever, and just talk to each other. That's probably something that you should work on too, because a lot of people end up like feeling like, first of all, the divorce rate is high for a reason. People aren't talking and communicating with each other
at all.
But on top of that, if you're in a long-term relationship that you see going to the next level and stuff, there should be a dedicated slot in time throughout you guys' busy schedules that you guys are just 100% undivided attention. Y'all are giving each other undivided attention. That's super important, at least once a week.
And we did like a no tech.
Oh, for that week.
We did a whole week of like no tech after
the love language test.
Yeah.
Finding out that his was a
whole week
quality
of no
time.
Tech. And like once we found that out, that was the best week ever, y'all. I'm not even gonna flex. It's the best week ever. We turned off all technology. We were reading books.
Yeah.
We were stretching.
Playing games.
It was all good times. I really encourage y'all to have like a no tech day. Like on a Sunday, just have like a game night. But anyways, that is all we have for you guys this week.
Oh my gosh.
This is her birth week.
Oh my gosh.
So we have a bunch of stuff planned for her on her birth week.
But a vlog is coming.
A vlog is coming. Okay. It will kind of highlight what we did on her birth week.
Love y'all.
Love you guys. Always remember to drink your water and communicate with your significant other, so that way you are happy, healthy, and hydrated, just like us. But yeah, that's all we have for you guys. If you don't already know, I am Hydrated Hero. She is African Beauty. Together, we're Josh and EC. Now you can follow one of us. You can follow two of us. You can follow all three of us. You might as well follow all three of us because we are happy, healthy, and hydrated on all three. But other than that, y'all, until we meet again,
peace, love, hair grease,
and we out.
Right there.
Right there. I'm looking at it. Subscribe. You want to click that button.
You know you
click it.
Also, check this video out right here.
Might as well. That's quality. Quality.
Right quality there. Content.
It's quality.
And
of course,
you might as well be right here.
You might as well be right there. Because this one's quality too.
All this quality.
You click anything you want. Quality.